Hi Mike, it's Lynn Poor. I can't believe we've finally gotten to this point. The final video, the final wrap up, my experiences in the Adult and Higher Learning degree program, graduate degree program. I just can't believe we're at this point. I'm nervous. I have butterflies in my stomach. I can't believe that we are actually at this stage and that I'm actually completing it. Now, you wanted me to stay within 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, so I'm going to try really hard and to get everything in that I need. So I wanted to open with a quote I found in an assignment in my HRD 600 History and Philosophy of Adult Education, the very first semester I was in the program. So this assignment was turned in on May 13th, 2013, and I wrote, "It is difficult to change our filter, to open ourselves up to other perspectives, other cultures, other ways of doing things. But as future adult educators, it is imperative that we try every day, really try to do so. By doing so, we will become the best educators we can be." And it's interesting, the reason I picked this quote is because having now gone through 6 years of the program, my feelings have changed a little bit. I mean, I do feel that we need to always strive to be better as educators, but I think having gone through the program, my filters are open. I think that it is easier than I indicated in that paper. I think that through education, we learn more about other cultures, about age groups, about socioeconomics, about all kinds of things, learning styles, disabilities, to make it actually easier for us to interact with students, with other educators. I think that that's what adult education has been for me. The learning process from start to finish has been, I had an idea, I had a concept in my mind, and through education, either it validated that idea or I learned and I grew and I changed from what I learned. And that's been important to me. This is why I think I will be a lifelong learner and why I have been at this point. What is adult education and what is my role in it? My role is to be the best educator that I can, to keep learning, to keep working with other educators, to network with other groups, to have continuing education, to constantly learn and grow, research, see what's happening, what's changing. Education is not static. It's not. It's always going to be moving and changing. Technology is a big part of that. Older people continuing their education is a big part of that. And as you know, Mike, the older population, the senior college age, 50 and above, that's really my area of excitement and where I want to teach. This is my hope for myself as I head towards 50 and as I continue as an educator for senior college to see how this can expand and grow. What have I learned in this program? I've learned to trust myself. I've learned to trust my knowledge, my expertise. I've also learned to trust my students, that they are there to want to learn and that they will share themselves with me as well so that I can learn from them. I've learned how to engage students in my classroom by being fully committed to the program myself, by being fully committed to being a teacher, to wanting to pass on that knowledge, to utilizing the education that I've had to help me be a better educator, a better facilitator for them. And I've also learned it has to be a symbiotic relationship. It can't be the Lynn show, as I mentioned in one of my last papers. It really has to be a give and take. I learn from them, they learn from me, and that makes the next class even better. And then same thing with that class to make even the next class better. I also have found that, if I have a passion for my subject matter, it really does come through in the way I teach, and they can feel it. They feel the genuineness of it. They feel the sincerity, and they get a lot from it. And I've learned a lot from a lot of my classes that I've had, specifically the facilitating adult learning. That's the one that pushed the bird out of the nest. It forced me to go and actually facilitate classes and get over that insecurity I had about not knowing enough. not being able to teach because I didn't know everything. You're never going to know everything. That can't be possible. Things are always changing and growing, so you can never know everything. So you need to just get out there and do it and learn while you're doing it, but take the education that you've already learned and have that be your firm foundation. Program planning, of course, that helped me get my position with Senior College because I had such a comprehensive curriculum. They were so impressed, and it also laid the groundwork for me to have a smooth transition into teaching with them. Career development, I learned a lot about myself, what my strengths are, and how I can utilize those strengths in the classroom. And also I learned about my weaknesses to learn areas to work on and to grow. And I also learned from marketing and spirituality and research methods. I learned from something, obviously, from every single class that makes me a better educator, that inspires me to research things, to grow, to impart that knowledge to others. I feel like I'm rambling, Mike. There have been some challenges, as we know, from the very beginning. For me, balance was a big problem, trying to balance school, work, home, health. Very early on, I was told I was just not going to be able to manage 2 classes every semester. This is something I didn't want to hear or admit to, but which ultimately helped me be more successful. It was hard to learn that I had always done 2 classes every semester in my undergraduate program, and it was hard for me to learn that graduate school was very, very different, and I was not going to be able to continue in that manner. And it was a valuable lesson to learn about my limitations, but one that was very difficult to get to and very hard to hear. And as I pointed out earlier, you know, I learned that I have a problem with finality. So I've been putting off, and she reminded me, one of my coworkers, that I had done that in my undergraduate degree. I was delayed in finishing my very last class, and I've been delayed in finishing classes in this program, and even getting this video out. Like I said, I've had this feeling in the pit of my stomach, and this is it. This is the finality. This is the end of my graduate program. But I have to keep reminding myself it's not the end of my education, because I can continue on learning. This is just one piece, one part of the chapter. And I needed to learn to embrace imperfect perfection. There will never be perfection. You can rework a paper until your little fingers are nubs, and there's always something that you're going to change, a phrase, a word, the research you add. At some point, you have to learn to embrace what you've done, to trust yourself, to trust that what you've put down is what you want to present, and finally let that go. After graduation from the Adult and Higher Education program, I plan to do the following to continue my professional development as an adult educator. I'm going to be joining NACADA. I found out that NACADA is $75 for the membership now that I'm no longer a student, so I'll be working towards doing that very shortly. And I have enrolled in the Educate Maine newsletter and have checked out their website, which is a resource that my supervisor uses and highly recommends. And I've also been approved by my supervisor to job shadow. So I'm going to, as soon as I get my diploma, I will be job shadowing Jim Bradley on advising, so that I can, over the next several years, learn all of the ins and outs of advising, so that when a position becomes available at UMA in Augusta, I'll be able to apply for and hopefully transfer. I'll also continue with my professional development courses. Through my employment, I'm allowed 1 professional development course per year, so I will continue with that. And of course, you know, I come from, my dad is very autodidactic and has passed that on to me. So I will continue with my own studies, my own research areas that interest me, that excite me. I will continue to explore those avenues. And teaching. I'm currently teaching for the USM LAC Senior College, and I will continue to do so. I'm a sought-after teacher, which makes me very happy, very excited. When you and I had spoken long ago, that had been my goal, was to be able to teach to senior college or the community colleges, or even, USM at the time when I was employed at USM, to pass on my knowledge about reflexology. So to be able to say that I am a teacher now is just so fulfilling for me, so heartwarming. Kind of brings a tear to my eye, actually. And also, I'm exploring the possibility in the fall of 19 or the spring of 20 to begin teaching for UMA. So that's an exciting avenue, too, that if you had really asked me in 2012 when you interviewed me for the program, would I become a college teacher, not just teaching reflexology, but teaching other things like computer classes and things like that, if I ever thought that would have happened, I would have said, maybe, but I didn't believe in my heart of hearts it would. And now this could really become a reality. This program has brought so much to me, Mike, and you know that. I'm the first member of my immediate family to earn a master's degree, which is a big thing. And it's also allowed me to teach, which is something when I was younger, in my K through 12, I had always dreamed of being a teacher. And then when I went off to college the first time, somehow that dream didn't happen. I talked myself out of it. The fear of not knowing enough to teach, I talked myself out of it. And so I didn't think I ever would become a teacher, but I have. And I love that. So, goodness. This has been 11 minutes. So to wrap up, I am grateful for this program. I recommend it to anyone. And I can't believe it, but I'm at the finish line. So thank you, Mike. Thank you for being an amazing advisor, for being the director of a great program, and for being there to support me and to help me over the hurdles. Thank you.